Amanda from Mala'ai, the Culinary Garden of Waimea Middle School. And today, Wendy Baker and I are going to talk to you a little bit about Āina, which is a professional development program that was created over a number of years. And Āina means standing firmly on the land in knowledge. And we developed this kind of in response to what we saw from the needs of people making gardens and teachers who were working in gardens and garden teachers over the course of time. And I just wondered if you have taken Āina either on Oahu or on Big Island, would you raise your hand? Okay. So we've been doing this for about 10 years now. And it was developed by Nancy Redfeather and Ko Ming-wei and myself originally, and Wendy Baker and Deb Milliken have also become Āina teachers. Do you want to do that? Do you want to go to the next one?
Okay, so we're just going to go back and forth. So school garden teacher training, that's what Āina is. And right now, Nancy Redfeather, we're so honored to have her here today. Thank you for coming. She just got back from a huge trip yesterday. We weren't sure if she was going to be here, so thank you. Yeah.
And Amanda Rieux and Dr. Ko Ming-wei back there, yeah, and Debbie Milliken, who's here, and myself. Though we've been building school gardens, successfully offering PDE 3 courses since 2007. We've trained more than 200 K through 8 educators, and educators really are becoming champions for school gardens.
So Āina started out as first as school garden conferences, and then we realized we needed trainings, and then out of those trainings we developed eventually the curriculum map. Āina is a 4-day intensive, and it's based on a makahana kahike, or in doing there is knowledge, by doing one learns. And so it's a highly experiential it's a highly experiential training for teachers. It's about 70% hands-on in the garden, both doing classroom management outside and garden activities, and then about 30% of the time is spent developing the techniques we're working with specifically for your own gardens and for your own sites, whether it's looking at your garden agreements, your routine, your protocol, the mission of your garden, or it's coming up with lessons for your kids in your circumstance. It's unified school gardens by creating a whole sense of shared values and concepts, particularly with resources and practices, and especially around safety practices. So for anyone from Hawai'i Island especially, we've been dealing with rat lungworm, with a huge invasion of little fire ants. So how do we create safety practices throughout so that kids get the health and the beauty and the joy of the garden? We really don't want anyone to be hurt when they come, and so that's been very critically important. Also, it was the Āina was really developed for Hawaii, and then it's specifically tuned to sites, to individual gardens, and every garden is different. The circumstances, your garden might be a pot, your garden might be an acre big, it may be the whole school, it may be one class, but the first lens is that idea of sense of place, and so it was developed for Hawaii, and then we work specifically to tailor those lessons to whatever site our teachers are coming from. It also supports the Nahopena Au HA framework, and I've worked with many of you through the HA summits over the past couple of years, and it's really created a community of teachers teaching teachers. And so that's really made it so that the resources of each other, it's built a community so that we are a resource for each other. And when I look at the folks who are in this room, the kind of knowledge and the experience and the breadth and depth of the knowledge is tremendous. So it has really built a network of people doing that.
If I might just elaborate, as a school garden teacher, I've had students come from other schools, and when they come into my garden, they're like, "Oh, we did that at my other school." So it's really good to have we have like the same slug jug or the same garden agreement. So those are the kinds of things that make students, when they come in, they feel very comfortable. Oh, Yep. So Hawaii Island School Garden curriculum map, the HSGCM, was created by teachers for teachers. I believe it was 14 of us who got together for an intensive week, and that was really Nancy Redfeather, Comingway, Amanda, a vision that they had, and they gathered a lot of money, or some money, and a grant, and brought us together, and we were. Yeah, it was quite an experience to create that. But we have a beautiful map, which is bits of it are on your tables. You can see that the map is aligned to standards, to the HA outcomes. It's set up for grades K through 8, but we can be scaffolded for high school. I teach high school, and the map works well for me. It's structured around 4 themes. Oh, okay, great. So here's an example. Here, let me pass it.
Okay. So on each table, Mingwei put one of the themes and in its grade level band. So the grade level bands are K2, 3, 5, and 6, 8. And then we have a scope and sequence, so you can see how that information is scaffolded. Those activities are scaffolded over the course of a student's life from kindergarten through 8th grade. And our driving question in forming this map was, what would we want a student to know to be ecologically literate by the time they were done with 8th grade, ideally? And what are real things we do in a garden? So that we kept that as a garden-based learning, with that idea again that makahana ka'ike, by doing one learns. Our kids want relevant lessons, they want to be outside, and there's something tremendously engaging and sensual about being in the living world. So the first theme and the lens through which we look at all of the rest of the things are sense of place. Sense of place is sustainable living rooted in a deep knowledge of place and self. And that has been a driving force to everything else that comes after.
And the second theme is the living soil, the living plants. And the subtopic for that is we are all interconnected and related.
The third theme is nourishment. Feed your body and mind what it needs to stay healthy and to flourish. And with that idea that nourishment isn't purely from the biochemical reaction of our body to the food, but the way that the food gets to us, the way that the food is presented, how we make the food, the aloha that goes into the food. And so also how it's, how we present it and how we receive it.
And the last theme was quite a doozy to put together. It's called Nature's Design. And in this, we look at systems, cycles, patterns, relationships, and adaptations in the garden system. So this one you can imagine goes through everything, like compost, right? Ecosystems. There's weather patterns, yeah. And so I do hope that you have a chance to go through and look at some of the available resources in the curriculum map.
So this year we're going to teach Kuaina Pa instead of at the beginning of the summer. We're going to teach it at the beginning of next school year. There is a save the date card over there on the table over there. It looks like this. And so if you're interested, we will not be doing it for PDE3. We'll be doing it for relicensure hours this year. And it's a 4-day intensive, and the days are structured on those 4 themes. We will use the map and then do hands-on training in the garden. This year it will be at Mala'ai. Besides that, we'll also be offering 4 quarterly workshops to support teachers and garden teachers. One of the ones that we've been doing is wrapping it up, tucking your school garden in for summer. That was something that I've heard from lots of people, is just wanting some strategies for that. I really send you all my aloha. I know what it's like to be a teacher at this time of year, not in your classroom, and I'm so grateful to have you here. It's kind of a dream for over a decade for us to have this many people from the Department of Education here and engaged. And this is maybe the revolution that we need for our kids and for our planet. And so I have so much aloha and gratitude to you for being here. Um, I'd like to see if Nancy wants to say anything or Mingwei.
Just as a final statement from our point is that as that I've come into this as a teacher. So teachers training teachers is that I took the first courses in 2010 and then slowly became a mentor for it. So it's great. And we've done that through lots of partnerships, the Kohala Center, Mala'ai, Prel, Oahu Farm to School Network, Iolani School, what Deb works with. I work at Hawaii Academy of Arts and Science. Food Corps has been a huge help, and hopefully we'll be able to partner with all of you.